everyone, it's Sharana from Payorwait, and today I'm going to be reviewing Never Have I Ever, Season 4, which is currently streaming on the Netflix platform. This series stars Maitri E. Ramakrishnan, Purna Jagannathan, Darren Barnett, Jaron Lewis, and as this series centers around the complicated life of a first-generation Indian-American teenage girl, which is inspired by Mindy Kaling's own childhood. So for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, hello, so glad you came, I hope you stay. I'll tell you what I liked about the series, what I didn't like about the series, and is it worth your time or not binging the final season of Never Have I Ever, where it's now streaming on Netflix. So going into what I enjoyed about this series, because I had to talk about series because we come to the end of the road. I had to pause for a moment because it took everything in me not to just sing Boys to Men, but I kept it within, okay? But my babies is growing up, y'all. We're at the final season. We were at senior year of Never Have I Ever. And I think one of the best things about this season is really seeing Davy's progression as a person. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Davy she was unlikable. She was doing some things where I was like, baby, I know this show's supposed to be about you, but I'm not feeling you right now. And I will have to say, as we get into season 4, I think Davy is a more self-aware person. And I think she's able, that doesn't mean that Davy still don't be slipping back sometimes, but she's able to catch and really hold herself accountable and really just reflect on like, how can she be a better person? How can she be a better friend? And I love that we get to see this progression come full circle in the relationship between her and her therapist, Dr. Ryan, played by Niecy Nash-Betts, who they had a moment, I was just like, I feel like I'm in therapy right now. I probably do need some therapy. I need to make an appointment. But to see where Davy came from in season 1, after she was dealing with the loss of her father, Mohan, I think that to see where she's come from season 1 to season 4, and especially in that therapy relationship, the fact that Davy's able to acknowledge when she needs help, if she's going through a tough situation, like she immediately knows, like, I need to go talk to my therapist about this. It really shows the growth of Davy as a person and also trusting herself that she can ultimately come to the right decision. She knows what she needs to do, and she knows the tools that she has at her disposal in order to do better and be better. And I like that we actually get to see the self-awareness, which actually makes her a more likable character, especially in this season. Now, also, too, the relationship that I be rooting for, I know y'all be like, are you Team Paxton? Are you Team Ben? I'm Team Davy and her mama, okay? Because I think that's been the greatest relationship to really explore. And to see where their relationship was very fractured in season 1 to where we find them in season 4, like, it is like a full 180. That don't mean that they still don't get on each other's nerves, because Lord knows my mama get on my nerves. I still love you, mama. If you're watching, daddy, don't be snitching on me. But I like that we get to see them really handle the grief of losing Mohan. We get to see them handle that grief in different ways. And we get to see them come to a point of acceptance of what has happened and them finally learning, like, what are we going to do moving forward? And I love that with Purna's character in this season, Nalini, I like that we get to see how parents grapple with losing their child. And, what does that relation look like when they're about to come to, like, this empty nest moment as their child becomes an adult and they have to forge their own path. But I love that this is, kind of like an immigrant story with Nalini's character, because she talks about how she made these sacrifices with Mohan in order to give, Davy a better life. And we actually get to see that dream fully realized in season 4. And I think that that's really important. And I think that one of the strongest relationship arcs of this entire series has been the relationship between Davy and her mom. And then also, too, just showing that you don't fully get over grief, but you get to a better point where you can deal with your grief as someone who's lost a parent. I think that it is really important to also see that come full circle, especially in this season. Now, also, too, Davy's mama got her groove back a little bit, and I was really happy to see this because I love watching series where, women have identities outside of just being a mother, outside of just, working in their profession and taking care of their family. I like that we actually get to see, her, like, date more. Davy kind of messed that up before, but I'm gonna let it go, Davy, because you're a different person now. But I do like that we actually get to see that, and we actually do get to see that with Davy's grandmother as well, which is pretty hilarious. And I'll get into that a little bit later, how I felt about that story arc. But I I do think that Porna is absolutely hilarious, and I want her to do more comedy because there were some lines that Davy's mom said in the series that I had to pause because I just had to get my laugh off real quick because I was like, wait a minute, what did she just say? She is really hilarious. I was like, was her mama always cracking jokes like this? Or maybe they just upped the ante for season 4. But I like that she's having more fun with the character as well. I really love seeing that. Now, I know y'all want to be like, but what about Paxton? What about Ben? I'm 50-50 on Paxton. Even though I have issues with how his character arc was treated in this final season, I do love the things that we explored with Paxton's character about understanding your identity after high school. You know, there's this weird identity crisis that you have leaving high school. You might have been a popular kid. You might have been a geek in school. And going into a new environment, you get another chance to reinvent yourself. And that can go good or bad depending on where you were coming from in your high school life. And I like that we explore that with Paxton's character, but also too trying to now understand what is your purpose in life? What do you want to do going forward with your life? I like that we get to explore that with Paxton's character, but also too, we actually have some of the best storylines that we've had with Ramona and with Fabiola's characters. I like that we get to delve in more of who they want to be in their own identity outside of Davy's friend. And I love the exploration of, trying to figure out what does my path look like? Is it college or is it not college? Or, maybe the dreams that I've been building up to that might not be my dream anymore. And how do you pivot? How do you not repeat the mistakes of, past generations? And I like how we explore that, especially with Ramona's character, but also too with Fabiola's character as well. I actually like that they had more to do outside of Davy this season. Now also too with Ben, the same thing. I like that, Ben was going through a lot last season. I wouldn't say Ben has that big of a storyline on its own, but I do love that we get to explore just learning how to be your authentic self. And, these kids have been, especially Davy and Ben, they've been trying to be the ideal person that a college would want to choose. But now, I love how Ben is just trying to, relax and enjoy life. And I like how we get to see that explored with his character as well. Now, also, too, I do love that there's more Indian culture in this season. There's something really fun that happens, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. But I was like, yes, honey, y'all should have been giving us this every single season because I was here for the entire moment. I really, really love that. But let's get into some of my issues, okay? I do have some issues with how things wrapped up in the season. One of the biggest issues that I have is the treatment of some of the characters, and I felt like they really didn't get a happy ending. First and foremost, Kamala. I don't know what happened with Kamala's character. Kamala was kind of trapped in this whole conspiracy. I'm a PI trying to figure out some mess about other people's lives instead of us focusing on her life. What's going on with her and her boo thing, Manish, who was missing for the entire season. And I just felt like while we got great moments of seeing the full circle relationship between her and Davy, which does have a beautiful moment in the series, I do feel like they could have given her more to do. Also to Anissa, baby, I forgot Anissa was a part of the cast. Anissa popped back up in the episode. I was like, dang girl, I forgot you was I forgot she was part of the season. And they kind of started with this foolishness with her character last season. But she don't got nothing to do. I'm not even about to sugarcoat. She ain't got nothing to do. While we do still get to see Trent, I felt like Trent could have had a more riveting revelation as a person. We get to explore more about, Trent and Ramona's relationship, but I wanted to see a little bit more from Trent. I felt like he's a fan favorite, so I felt like there's just more that they could have done than what we actually saw. With Paxton, while I love that Paxton got to the ending or the message of what he was supposed to learn, I just don't like how they went about it. I can't really talk about it without getting into spoilers, but I was just like, really? This what y'all finna do with his character the whole season? It doesn't make sense for who Paxton is as a person, who Paxton doesn't fail, Paxton doesn't quit. Paxton always works hard to get what he needs to do. So it just didn't make sense. The things that happen with Paxton's character, it made no sense. I can't really talk about it because I'm talking around it because I can't talk about it because I don't want to spoil it. But yeah. Okay. Daisy's grandma got a weird storyline. Like, she has a good storyline but I just don't feel like her character would make this decision. Maybe I'm just gonna have to do a spoiler review because there's things that I need to break down and I can't really like prove my point without telling you what happened. So we just gonna leave that. I love my grandma, okay girl, but I didn't feel like your character would be making some of the decisions or choices that you made in this season, but to each their own. Now, there's a new addition of a character, Miss Thompson, played by Gania Walton, who I was like, okay, we got a black girl on here. I was like, all right. But then I was just like, what was your purpose this season? And I felt like we just introduced people for the sake of introducing people because we needed to give somebody else something to do. But some of the people introduced, like Michael Cimino, like, I was like, we could have did more with Michael's character. I loved his character. I think you're going to enjoy him, looking at him. He over 21. Okay, yeah. Enjoyed looking at him. I thought he was great for what they did with his character. But they kind of just like bring him in and then we just like, oh, actually, we're going to do something else instead. And we just forget about them. We forget about a lot of characters that are introduced in this season. And it just doesn't make sense to me. So while I'm excited about this season, I still enjoyed this season overall, getting to see some of our core characters like have their happy endings, see them make the final decisions and the will they, won't they, and the love triangle. I still felt as though that some of these decisions didn't make sense to the characters that we've seen over the course of the past 4 seasons. But what I would tell you do is you and your time for Never Have I Ever, y'all. If you didn't watch seasons 1 through 3, go ahead and watch season 4. You know you want to. You know it's going to be a quick binge. You know you're going to get your entire life, okay? So I enjoyed Never Have I Ever. I just, sometimes I gotta just point out my issues that I have with stuff. But I still had a fun time watching it, okay? So if anyone from Netflix is watching Ted, this man don't know who I am. Can we just get a college series, please and thanks? Alrighty, okay. So those are my thoughts on Never Have I Ever season 4. As always, my name is Sharonda from payorwait. And if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. And until I see you again.